Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about fishing. So in today's video, I've got a complete guide on how to be the best fisherman possible with any type of budget from early game to late game, spending extreme amounts of money for absolutely no reason except improved fishing experience because, like some people, fishing for me is a skill that I really hate. If we look at my skill average, fishing is really pulling it down. I'm only fishing 19. I mean, like, that's really bad, guys. Like, really bad. And basically all of that is from fishing minions. Yeah, I'm in part making this to motivate myself to fish. So, let's get into the video. So, for early game, you are like fishing zero. You don't fish at all, and you want to get actually into fishing. So, you're probably not going to be making any profit yet. You're just going to try to level up the torturous fishing skill, which, I mean, how can you not hate? It's fishing. So for this, I recommend you get angler armor, which is really cheap. You'll see I even have a set of it, even though I don't fish. It gives you some decent stats for fishing, and it's really not that expensive, so that's really great. Especially if you've had some fishing minions down before, which you might have. It only costs 24 raw fish, and you get unlocked after collecting 500 fish, which is really basically nothing. So I highly recommend getting a set of these, or if you want, you can get a set on the auction house for basically nothing. For example, if I go to ending soon, so like this 10,000 coins, 194 coins. For some reason, I can't find any on buy it now. So, I mean, if you're looking for cool things to sell that are really cheap and easy to craft, I mean, that might be a good option, because you can basically set the price to whatever you want, because no one's buying them on buy it now. Except for people who love the recipes, you should probably just craft it, because it's going to be really, really, really cheap. For your fishing rod, you're going to want to use the winter rod. These are also incredibly cheap, as they only cost 40,000 coins from the NPC, and if you want to just buy one yourself, which you can probably do, yeah, here's one for 110,000 coins, but you can buy it for 40,000 coins from an NPC, so I'd recommend doing that on the Jerry Island, but if you want one now, this is pretty good, and this is especially good if you want to use it with the salty reforged, like this person has on it, and put on all the fishing enchants you want, and then you can use this to also help you with fishing for yetis. If you really want to start doing that, it's probably not a great idea, because you're not going to be on the winter island, but I'd still recommend fishing on the winter island if you have this rod, if it's open, just because it's pretty nice, and anyway, otherwise it's got the 50% speed everywhere, so just use that anyway. It's pretty good. And you're honestly going to want to use whatever pet you have, as a lot of the fishing pets are quite expensive, and you probably don't have any yet. If you have a pet you want to level up, just use that for now, because unless you have a pet already pre-planned for fishing, they are decently expensive. And for your bait, which you can buy from the bazaar, you are going to want to use spooky bait if it's the spooky festival, which you might want to use. This one will boost your chance to get spooky creatures. And otherwise, you can just use the fish bait. It's incredibly cheap. It costs about 100 coins, and it gives you 30% faster catch time. Or if you really want to cheap out, you can use minnow bait, but that's about half the price for about half the benefits. So whatever floats your boat. So let's now move on to mid-game fishing. So you're now probably around fishing 20, and you're going to start making some money, but not that much. So you are now going to want to get angler armor, like I have on, or start upgrading to diver's armor, which is quite expensive, but honestly, it's worth the investment, as it's about double the stats in terms of sea creature chance, and it's just better armor in general. And with the full set bonus, you can move quickly in water, and you can permanently breathe if you want to go underwater to fight a sea creature or something like that. So that can also be quite useful. Now you're going to want to get the Rod of Champions, which is a decently expensive rod, but not that expensive. Yeah, like you'll see, this one's 300,000 coins. You can also buy it enchanted with all of the fishing enchants and get the salty enchant on it, which will make it slightly better. Like this one, salty, because salty does boost your sea creature chance, so I would recommend getting it with salty if you can, or waiting for the Jerry Festival to happen. Unfortunately, until we get rid of Dante, that's not happening, because they're all cancelled. All of the Season of Jerry events are not happening. Instead, Dante is making sure that we can't do it. You're also going to want to get a rare dolphin pet, or if you're using diver's armor, you can get a flying fish, which will boost diver's armor slightly, and you're going to want to get this in legendary. It is a bit more expensive, but it is worth it, as it increases diver armor stats. And for your bait, you're going to want to use special baits for every festival that you want to do, if they actually happen, like shark bait or whale bait really makes more sense. It's slightly better for the shark festival because this only gives 15% chance, and this one gives 20% faster catch time for everything, so it is actually better. Or you can use something like the spooky bait when the spooky festival happens again, or the ice bait for the Jerry Island, and just use light and dark bait for everything else. Dark bait is the only possible one right now, and it's gone up in price substantially, as you can probably tell, because you can't use light bait because Dante got rid of the sun. And for late game fishing, you are now making money and getting a bunch of XP. So you're going to want to get shark scale armor, preferably with Legion 5, which is, it's an investment. But you're going to want to fish with other people and be social just so that you can actually get that buff. So Legion 5, you gain a bunch of different stats for people who are around you, and that can help even boost your sea creature chance more. So do that if you want to, but you really just need to start shark scale armor, and you can try to get Legion 5 if you want. And it's important you fish with friends when you're doing that. You're also going to want a Rod of the Sea, which is definitely also an investment. These are also quite expensive, starting at 7 million coins, and you're also going to need to enchant it and stuff. And it does require fishing 24, so you do actually need a relatively high fishing level for this, but you should be able to get that if you've been following this guide so far. And you're also going to want the legendary dolphin pet this time, because that will boost it even more. And you're going to want the same baits, and except changing out to whale bait for all other times, because it's just the best bait, but it does cost the most, so only use if you just have tons and tons and tons of coins. Now time for some extra fishing tips. You can fish in areas like where I've been doing parts of this video in. For example, this is in the spider's den. It's a pond, and it sometimes rains here, so that can be great for catching extra sea creatures. Or you can go over to that pond where you can buy rain, and that's in the park, so it's one of the more popular fishing spots, as you can buy rain and basically have infinite rain, which does boost your chance to get better fishing stuff. And of course, during Season of Jerry, fish there, as you have the chance for baby yeti pets, which will give you a lot of coins if you do catch them. Another tip would be to install fishing mods, like for example, in SBE there's an entire section dedicated to fishing trackers, and that can be really useful. Like, I can have a bunch of things that tell me, like, how long I've gotten rain left, stuff like that, and that can give me a lot of help for making sure that I'm fishing my best. And my final tip is watch something else on a second monitor, phone, or tablet. Like, could I recommend Tankerman 3000 videos and streams? Because it's really boring to fish, and I highly recommend you do something else with that time as well, just so that you're not wasting it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and get on with your day. Have a great day. Goodbye.